What's up, what's happening, what's going on, Cantaloupes? There's plenty of debate over what makes a quarterback good or bad. Is it the number of Super Bowls that they won? Is it their win-loss record? Is it their touchdown to interception ratio? Their quarterback rating? Their ability to perform in clutch situations? These are all fun questions. Upon further review, some Hall of Famers and some of the more accomplished quarterbacks in history were not actually that good. Yeah, I said it. Today, we present the 10 most overrated quarterbacks in NFL history. And a big shout out and dab on them to Benji Football 1 for suggesting this video. Carson Palmer. All right, so let's start off with the good. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler. He's a 2-time NFC North champion with the Cincinnati Bengals. With the Arizona Cardinals, he was in the 2015 NFC Championship game. He was the first overall pick, which also adds a little bit of pressure. He only won a single playoff game in his entire career. He has 187 career interceptions, and his win-loss record is 92, 88, and 1. It's all right. Randall Cunningham. You could actually make the case that Cunningham was underrated, so let me try to make the case that he was overrated. Take away the fact that the 1998 season was insane. The Minnesota Vikings set a bunch of records on offense. Cunningham really wasn't that great. He suffered numerous injuries and went from bench to starter to bench to starter to bench to starter. He only completed 56.6% of his career passes and won just 82 games as a starter. Those are my reasons. Tony Romo. Oh, this should be fun. He led the Dallas Cowboys to the postseason his first 2 years as a starter. Then it was all just Tony Romo. Mediocrity for the next 6 years. Sure, he had heart. Sure, he was fun to watch. But sure, he threw a lot of interceptions. He was a major choke artist in crunch time and had only 2 career playoff wins during his time as the Cowboys starter. And to add to insult to injury or injury to insult, he only completed 5 games in his final 2 years. George Blanda. He's a 3-time AFL champion, MVP, Pro Football Hall of Famer. Why are we talking about George Blanda possibly being overrated? It's because he tossed 236 touchdowns against 277 interceptions. His record as a starter, really not that good as well. 53 wins, 50 losses, and 1 tie. It's a bad touchdown to interception ratio, people. Vinny Testaverde. He was drafted first overall by the Buccaneers in 1987, and he was a complete bust with the Buccaneers. That alone should make him somewhat overrated, but then he became a Pro Bowler for the Baltimore Ravens in 96, and then he had a couple really good years with the Jets, especially in 1998, but it was kind of all downhill from there. He lost 123 games and had 275 touchdowns against 267 interceptions. Sure, we like to see more touchdowns than interceptions, but if we're going to consider somebody great, we're going to need to see a better ratio than that. Kerry Collins. Because of his longevity, Kerry Collins is highly regarded as one of the better quarterbacks in his era, but I don't really see why. Sure, he led a very young Panthers franchise to the 1995 NFC Championship game. He then led the New York Giants to a Super Bowl. But think about this. Collins was on a Giants team that drafted Eli Manning to replace him. Then he was on a Tennessee team that drafted Vince Young to replace him. He's just replaceable. 208 touchdowns against 196 interceptions. I mean, is anybody really going around saying, oh, Kerry Collins is one of the best? No, he's slightly overrated. Boomer Esiason. Boomer led the Bengals to a Super Bowl 23 appearance where they barely lost to Joe Montana and the 49ers. He was also a 4-time Pro Bowler, the 1988 NFL MVP, but he had an 80 and 93 career record. He had 184 interceptions as well. These are some of the reasons he's not in the Hall of Fame, despite those MVP caliber years. Phil Simms. All right. So he's a two-time Super Bowl champion. But let's not forget, it was Jeff Hostetler who actually won the Super Bowl for the Giants in Super Bowl 25. Phil Simms actually did lead the G-Men to a Super Bowl 21 victory, and he was the MVP of that game. Now, why is he overrated? I don't know. Look at his quarterback rating, 78.5 throughout his career. Listen, winning Super Bowls changes your legacy. If it wasn't for those Super Bowls, we wouldn't be thinking about Phil Simms. Actually, if it wasn't for Phil Simms being in the broadcast booth, would we think of Phil Simms ever? Eli Manning. Again, just like Phil Simms. Take away Eli's 2 Super Bowl championships and big game MVP awards, and what do you have? Not a whole lot and a really good brother. He's never had an MVP caliber year. Eli's only tossed 30 touchdowns in 3 seasons, and he's creeping into the top 10 of career interceptions thrown. It's time that the Giants move on from Eli. I mean, he'll go down as not a legend, will he? Will he really? Joe Namath. We all know Joe Namath, right? I didn't see Joe Namath play, but I know Joe Namath, and I thought he was one of the greatest of all time, especially really because of his Super Bowl guarantee. But he has 173 touchdowns against 220 interceptions. He has a 65.6 career quarterback rating. He won just 62 games in his career despite playing for 12 seasons. He's in the Hall of Fame, yes, but he's probably only in the Hall of Fame because of his Super Bowl III guarantee, and he's probably only in my mind as, oh, he was a great quarterback because of that guarantee. I should start guaranteeing things. Who do you think is the most overrated quarterback in NFL history? Join me in the comments below. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like me, follow me on Instagram. Until next time, I'm Mike Cantalupo. Thanks for watching.